Oh, what's up? I've been on here for a minute, kind of enjoying the way things are changing. Yeah, it's getting a little crazier at the bottom. Yeah, I've been I don't know if I say rock bottom, but been living broke for quite some time ever since I came out of the Army. Before that, I had a part-time job in high school, and of course we get paid pretty good in the military. The first time I was homeless after the military. But yeah, things are changing. Getting more violent at the bottom. Everybody's clicking up these days. I don't give a fuck. I grew up in the 80s. Common sense. Problem is, things aren't organized yet, so some stupid shit could happen. But, what do you expect? When you got someone in there handling shit, bringing shit back. Trump's supposed to be there in 87, before New World Order, the Clintons, the Bush era, 9/11, Islamic socialism, all the bullshit. Too bad he didn't run back then, but he knew he was going to make it facing divorce. That's the way it was back then. Anyway, just want to hit back on here real quick. Wife's looking at getting GED, CNA, paid for by the tax dollars we spend every time we got a job. And I'm halfway done trucking school. Got the paperwork shit done. Quit smoking weed on a daily 2.5 months ago. Probably the first time I've gone without pot since fucking high school. And I have to admit, I gotta deal with my own aggression. Verbally, of course. Drill sergeant comes out. But people aren't so butthurt like they used to be. It's nice. You know? Fuck. Me and my wife get in an argument. It's like people just fucking keep their distance. Of course, we don't get in physical fights. We don't do it like that. But yeah, we do get in arguments, of course. Who doesn't? But it's a growing process. We've been married since 4/20 this year, 2017. But yeah, it's slowly getting better and worse. Like Trump said when he was running, when he started handling shit in office, they're going to backfire through the media and all the other shit. And I get, the upper middle class are scared, they're afraid of the homeless, this and that. Look, people at the bottom are the last thing you gotta worry about. At least people that know better, people already been through shit. They're the most down to earth, relaxed people you're gonna meet. It's upper middle class. Mostly, I don't know, I hate to say white middle class, upper middle class, upper. The fucking snobs. Same assholes been dealing with it since high school, since the 90s. When you watch your manager drive around Mercedes and you barely afford your broken down Ford. The complaints we had before 9/11. Same old shit. But it seems like people are starting to recognize it for what it is these days, which I'm glad for that. For the most part, it seems like black communities kind of learned that broke white is not against them. I think enough people have kind of spread the common sense that Generation X is anti-racist. And millennials, they really don't see that shit anymore. I know for us when we were in high school, it was about what kind of music you're into, what kind of style you're into. I was a metalhead. Very simply, we didn't want to get jumped. So we listened to heavy metal, chilled on the side. People would say we're racist, whatever. And we'd always look at each other like, well, if one of them would come hang out here, it'd be the most popular person in the crowd. And that's the way it really was. But there's always something out there that's going to be talking shit, as always. And one thing that's been going through my head lately is this fucking white supremacy bullshit. All right, who is the mascot of racism in this country? Adolf Hitler, right? Right, the guy responsible for killing more Caucasians than anyone else. And then they say, oh, white supremacy. That was white genocide. How the fuck they put white supremacy in the mix, and then people actually believe it and start thinking they're part of something? Give me a fucking break. That shit's about as stupid as calling black people the N-word. It's just, they pass that shit in the media, turn us all against each other because they know All 500 of them, they know that 360 million of us, if we actually fucking got along, they'd have to work for us. And if they keep us stirred up, well, they keep control over everybody. And that's about where it's at. But, you know, and you hear all this Civil War shit and Tifa and all this. Where? I was kind of falling for it, to be honest. But then, that day, November 4th, I'm like, well, I don't see no choppers. I don't hear no explosions. What Civil War? And then now people were making fun of it. Good. Not going to happen. For all we know, that was some bullshit passed by gun manufacturers to make more money. Get y'all buying. Maybe it's something politics, I don't know. But the main thing is, these days, if there's any kind of good brainwashing, see, being that we do live in a censored nation, you're never told the truth. They just tell you what you need to hear so that they can do whatever the fuck they want up top. Military complex works for themselves. They don't ask your vote for shit. That's just the way it is. And I'm gonna advise my next generation not to go in the military. I mean, maybe Navy. It's mostly trades in the Navy, but ground forces, man, I'll tell you what. You might think it's all heroes and ribbons and shit, but that's some violent fucking shit. And there is a lot of shit that goes wrong that shouldn't be happening. If you want to know some details, go to your local VA and talk to some guys that are fresh back. Do your research on YouTube. I'm not here to be talking shit because we do need, I don't know, protection, but I don't even know what to think about it anymore, man. I mean, I look at it like this. Our veterans go in with the right cause. They have a good heart. They're all about doing the right thing. They come home, they got regrets. So all I can say is I was doing my job. I don't want to talk about it, doing my job. And you got some millennials now that are being honest about things. And I'm wondering why they haven't been coming home yet. You know, if they got it all figured out there, there's a few destroying the many kind of situation. Well, can't they just wipe the problem and come home? So what's taking so long? I'm wondering how many of them are actually going to make it home. I heard some shit about sending the undertrained on into fucking suicide missions, kind of thinning the herd kind of shit. So I don't know. I mean, it's all a mystery, man. I was talking to a guy from Russia. He says the news over there is way different. I said, well, is it more truthful or is it just another version of bullshit? He looked at me and says, another version of bullshit. I mean, we've been hearing a lot of stuff about Putin, this and that, and, you know, don't give up your guns. Putin said, don't give up your guns. Well, how the fuck do we know? See, I'm curious about learning the Russian language. That way I understand what the hell they're really saying, not just going off of what some interpreter says, because that could be bullshit right there. So, but mainly I've been busy, man, living in a shelter with my wife. Going truck driving school. I got 2.5 months clean from daily use of pot, and I slipped up a month and a half ago. And 6 weeks later, 250 pounds, I failed that THC test for my truck driver license. So they told me I get the first strikes free, so I got to wait at least another month to be smart about it, go back and pass that test, and get my CDL. And I'm going to stick around local with my wife for another year, get her license. Hopefully a year and a half from now, me and her can start partner driving. I've also might be doing other kinds of videos on trucking, maybe even mechanic shit down the road. You know, I've been mostly doing politics, especially since the election time. But, you know, I mean, really when it comes down to it, it's like what kind of version of bullshit you want to believe today. The thing is, when it came to election time, I backgrounded both of them in Hillary flip-flops. Comey, obviously, flip-flops, obviously. I'm surprised Trey Gowdy wasn't Attorney General. He should have been. That guy, Sessions, get the fuck out of here. 29 out of 50 states have legalized medical marijuana, and you want to prosecute the majority of the states because you don't like fucking weed? The people have spoken. Legalize that shit. It should have been federally legal at the moment 26 states said yes. So I don't know what the fucking dilemma is. Makes it look very fishy. But it's like a lot of people told me, especially before the whole so-called Civil War, got the right guy in office. He's been saying the same things for a long time. He was supposed to be in office in '87, except he was going through a divorce. Selfish fucking wife, screw up the country over her, right? But yeah, back then, he believed he wouldn't have been elected because of that divorce, and he's probably right. Bill Clinton almost got kicked out over a blowjob, which that's all we knew back then. Now we know a lot more about that guy, and really I blame his wife, but guy is such a pussy. God damn, President of the United States. Oh, I smoked, but I never inhaled. Well, how about legalizing it? Because I remember when he was in office, 5 states legalized, and the feds came by and said, nope, federally illegal. And that's when in high school a lot of people started talking good things about state rights, rebel flag, and everything else. So, when I was in the Army, I got my tattoo done. 2001, after 9/11, Bush comes out and says, oh, we're lowering the Southern flag, racism, racism. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I knew that was bullshit, knew 9/11 was bullshit. I had to watch it happen. You couldn't talk shit about the World Trade Organization after 9/11. You'd sound like you were anti-American or something. This is fucking crazy, man. And losing my chain of thought a little bit. Might be a bad vibe from somebody getting offended around me. I don't know. But yeah, dude, it's just, this world is fucking nuts. And I mean, if you smoke weed, fine, go ahead. I don't even see a problem with it. It should be recreationally legalized. There's no problem, no serious problem with it. It's not a serious drug. It's daily use. It's healthier than alcoholism. But if you can go without, you're going to get more shit done without smoking your fucking weed. I think we both know that. But I mean, hey, if you got to do something, that's a safe route to go. And if you're retired, you got the shakes, you're high blood pressure, you're worried about heart attack, smokes, by all means, get your fucking weed prescription, get over it. It'll help you out, it'll help you chill in older age. So you don't have a stroke or heart attack, to live longer. God forbid you're fucking a little stoned in a better mood and you see your grandkids, they're not going to know what the difference. Common sense. Yeah, I'm just glad to see the change coming through, and the people are clicking up at the bottom. And that's another point where color don't matter anymore. There's whites joining gangs now too, and everything else. So. The only ones that are still separate are the Mexicans, because they only recruit their own. And I'll give them credit for that. I grew up around all that, and I never got involved in anything. It's probably a good thing. Obviously a good thing. The only gang I was involved in was U.S. Army, and that's enough for me. But on that, I'm signing out, and hopefully somebody actually watches this. I have a hard time keeping up on this shit. Bouncing around too much. Been on and off the streets ever since 1999 when I came out of the military. I'm glad Trump was talking shit about McCain. Yeah, he's a punk bitch. Ever since I got home to Arizona, VA told me I wasn't a veteran. Different story on the East Coast. I thought all vets were assholes for a while. I was wrong. I mean, I know what it is today. I mean, guys going in with the right intentions. You're taught right. A lot of us are, at least, in basic training. Not be selfish, look out for each other, and so on. There's a lot of good men in there. There are some sellouts. There are some assholes who just want a paycheck, better benefits. They don't give a fuck what they got to do to get it. And if there ever really is a real civil war, those are the ones you got to watch out for. But the ones that stand up for human rights and being American and everything else, those are good veterans. And that's the majority of them from what I've seen. But I'm at the bottom. So at the bottom, you got the ones that can't be paid off, because we're broke anyway. On that, I'm out.